Have mercy, your brother from the gutter, the slick one back behind the wood. It is the open bar where there's never a cover and ever a minimum. And we are coming to you on tape, March 21st, direct from a safe house located somewhere above the telephone pole in South Buffalo. This is the open bar. How the hell are you? You made it through St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully you didn't end up in the holding center. That's always a good way. That is what. Listen, that is how I know I've had a good St. Patrick's Day. If I don't end up in the holding center come Monday morning, that's how I look at things. So yeah, it's been about a week since our last slick cast. Of course, the country's going to shit under Donald Trump, and we'll get into that in just a few. But first of all, for you music heads out there, you Todd Rundgren fans. Or maybe you're not even a Todd Rundgren fan. Maybe you are a Burt Bacharach fan. You know, what the world needs now. Well, Todd Rundgren is going to be doing his What the World Needs Now tour starting in California and out in the City of Angels this weekend. That's right. The Burt Bacharach tribute will kick off there. The closest date that we have here to Western New York will be April 1st, and that is in Akron, Ohio. Yeah, let's hear it for Akron, Ohio, and also in the Motor City. Motown for Mo people, April 2nd. So, walk on by, bitch. Yeah, who doesn't love a good Burt Bacharach song every once in a while? Which reminds me, I've got some new speakers on the way. I've been working on a new 2-channel stereo setup for my dining room area, which I haven't really used for anything. I never got a dining room table because, you know, I can't see myself, you know, doing turkey dinners anytime soon. And I've been here 22 years, so I don't think that's going to happen at this point. So I just decided to make it into a 2-channel stereo room. And I got a new pair of speakers, gently used speakers, I should say, coming tomorrow. So I've been working on that lately. That's what you do when you're semi-retired. You know, what else have I got to do? You see, I can still rock out and play the tunes. Maybe it's only in my own house, okay? But I can still rock out. So last night I had a gummy, and I'm watching late night TV, and I'm watching YouTube, and Gilbert Gottfried pops up on YouTube, and it says Gilbert Gottfried's old Jew joke puts Bob Costa on the floor or under the table or something to that effect. So I'm like, oh, I got to see this. So it's hilarious. I was actually crying. Bob Costa is on the floor. Just hilarious. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. Just make sure you get the one that has the video. There's another one that just has a picture of Gilbert Gottfried and Bob Costa. They're like sitting at a table. They're just like shooting the shit. It's like some podcasters. I think it's his podcast. And just funny. Just check it out if you need a laugh. Or maybe save it when you really need a laugh. And what the hell's going on with those Buffalo Bills, huh?
You gotta be a football hero to get along with the beautiful girl.
So the latest dope on the Bills from what the hell's going down at One Bills Drive. Matt Milano, who, believe it or not, is 30 years old now. Yeah, I remember when he was just a puppy, has restructured his contract to make it a 1-year contract, and he also took a little bit of a pay shave, which is good for both sides because it frees up some cap space for the Bills. And if he can stay healthy and have a good season, well, he'll hit the open market and he'll be able to get some big bucks. So it's a win-win, I think, for both sides. They also signed cornerback Dane Jackson and safety DeMar Hamlin for some much-needed depth, and they will compete. Well, at least Hamlin will compete with Bishop for the starting safety job. They also brought in a dude named Derek Forrest from the Commanders, who was pretty good when he played there. He's another young guy. He's only been around about 3 years, was a 5th-round pick of Washington. He played really good when he played, but then he got hurt. And then he kind of fell out of favor, I guess, with the coaching staff, whatever. So it's a new start for him, but they expect him to challenge. And, of course, the dudes that we signed from other teams, the big signing, Joey Bosa, who was they were really using him up in L.A. He was doing like 70% of the snaps. He's got some back and hip issues, so I think if the Bills use him sparingly, just use him on 30, 40% of the snaps, and maybe get him a case of extra strength Tylenol, I think we could get something from this guy. I really do. He's only 28 or 20. What is he, 29, 28? He's got some miles on him, but maybe he turns out to be the guy, the pass rusher that we need, which Von Miller, of course, wasn't. I mean, it's a one-year deal, $12 million, so what do you got to lose? It's not like we're opening up the safe and letting the moths out like we did for, what's-his-face, for Von Miller, who was great his first 6 games until he got hurt, and then he was never the same. So hopefully we have a little bit better luck with Joey Bosa. Now, of course, they also signed some 2 other defensive linemen that you probably heard of. The guy from the Steelers, Larry Ogunjobi, and, of course, the other big signing, which is Michael Hoyt, the edge rusher from the Rams. The bad news is that they are both being suspended for 6 weeks for PED violations. So, yeah, that's a bummer. Now, evidently, they didn't know about Ogunjobi. They didn't know that he had this suspension. I guess that he was just notified. I guess these outside labs do the work, and he was just notified that he was, tested positive for performance-enhancing drug. And so this is after the Bills agreed to deal with him. They find this out, and I guess supposedly he just found it out as well. So, bad luck, call it whatever you want, but he's not going to be able to see the field for 6 weeks. Of course, they can practice with the team and training camp and stuff, but then once the season starts, they can't practice at all, and they cannot play until the 6th week of the season. So, now the other guy, Hoyt, who was supposed to be this pass rusher, this chess piece that they can move around, he's a defensive end / linebacker / edge rusher, whatever, he could play anywhere. They knew that he had a PED suspension. They knew that. They signed him to a 3-year deal. So one they knew about, one supposedly they didn't. So Bean says, I wouldn't have done it with, 2, but listen, it's just our shitty luck. It is what it is. But can these guys hit the ground running in week 6 or week 7, I should say? That's a good chunk of the season. I mean, you're not playing since training camp. You're going to be a little bit rusty. So that's the latest on the Bills.
Oh, my God, he's having a meltdown.
You don't suppose this has anything to do with the sleep deprivation and narcotics?
And here we go. Oh, geez. Another mind-blowing episode of how Trump is destroying the United States of America. Let's start with the 30-day ceasefire, right? Remember that 30-day ceasefire? They're in a big, because, hey, Trump just wants peace. That's all he wants is peace. Well, right after they signed the peace deal or agreed to the peace deal, Russia and Ukraine, Russia then bombs a Ukrainian hospital. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that just wonderful? Now, if the shoe was on the other foot, now if this was Ukraine, if they had done something like this, well, Trump would have went through the fucking ceiling. He would have cut all ties with them, no question about it. So, and what did he do to Russia? Did he do anything to Russia for that? Of course not. Listen, we all know he's Russia's bitch. It's a fact. It's a fact. There probably is a PP tape. And you got to love what the Illinois governor, the governor of Illinois said. He said, J.B. Pritzker, he was doing an interview and somebody asked him, hey, if you could ask Donald Trump anything or could say anything to Donald Trump, what would you say? And his response was, what does Russia have on you? Which, I mean, come on. It's obvious. It's obvious. It's so obvious. He wants to force this peace deal, but he wants Ukraine to get the shit out of the stick. And he wants, here's a little something that wasn't really reported much, but as you know, or maybe you don't know, Ukraine took Kursk, which was the Kursk region, part of Russia. This is about 6-8 months ago, and they've been holding it. And what happened was when after the fracas in the the setup in the Oval Office, where they made Zelensky out to be the bad guy, his country just was invaded by fucking scumbag Putin, makes him out to be the bad guy. So he cuts off aid and intel to Ukraine. So, I mean, they depend on our satellites and everything to see where Russia's moving and whatnot. So guess what happened during that period that week where they stopped all the intel sharing with Ukraine? Russia took back Kursk, huh? Yeah. So you can't tell me there's not some backdoor love affair that Donald Trump isn't giving Vladimir Putin a reach around. And I don't care what anybody says. He's got something on Trump. He's got something on Trump. For us to throw our allies, our European allies, under the bus for our enemies. You think Russia wants to see the United States do well? Hey, I got some $1 million condos in fucking Sloan. I want to sell you, okay? And I just hope that all your Trump fans realize that when he's done destroying the government and breaking every law in the book, that when if there ever is another Democratic president in the office, they then will be able to do whatever they want. So if we get a Democratic president and he says, you know what, I'm making a presidential order that, churches are no longer tax exempt. So you fuckers are going to have to start paying taxes, huh? How'd you like that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Or you know what? I'm putting out a presidential order to outlaw all automatic, semi-automatic weapons. Okay? So fuck you. You don't like it? Tough shit. I'm the president. And you judges that don't agree with me, well, you should be impeached, right? That's the way Trump rolls. I mean, it's so obvious what he's trying to do is turn us into an autocracy. I mean, he's going by the playbook that Viktor Orban used in Hungary. Remember when who's the drip from Fox News went over there? The bow tie asshole. He went over to Viktor Orban and kissed his ring a couple of years ago, trying to sell it on everybody. Look at this is great. Look how they do things in Hungary. Yeah, look at the protests they had in Hungary over the weekend. Did you see that? Hundreds of thousands of people in the street because this dickhead in Hungary did the same thing. He took over. He fired all the workers. He fired all the government workers, and basically did what Trump is trying to emulate now. So if that's the kind of country you want to live in, you don't want to live in a liberal democracy where you have due process and the guy in charge could just do whatever the fuck he wants. If that's the way you want to roll, then I guess that's the way we're gonna be. But just remember, when the shoe's on the other foot, it won't be so much fun.
He's the hope of America.
All right, that's all the Slick One's got for you right now. Don't forget, we are streaming everywhere on Apple Podcast, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, and we originate from Podbean /slicktom.com. It has all the episodes on there. And yeah, we want to give props out to our technical and graphics producer, Julia, from Lakewood Studios, who does an excellent job. If you ever need any kind of that stuff done, she's the person to talk to. Oh, and this episode of The Open Bar, we have a sponsor now. Is that true? We do? All right. This episode of The Open Bar is sponsored by, it's our good friends from the radio days, Greasy Ernie's Taco Emporium and Burrito Haven are so proud sponsors of The Open Bar. Remain calm, circle the wagons, go Bills, live fast, die old, weed, whiskey, and Warren Zevon.
Hail to the king, baby.